Hey guys, Shawn Ziem, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor. This is live number 39 on Webtalk Legends Podcast. 39 on the year. It's all about sharing your story. I don't know if you like my new glasses. Those are just tuning in. Got some new glasses, upgrade. Also the hat. Definitely want to talk about that later on. But it's 39 episodes. It's all about value. Wherever you're watching, reminder, drop a comment. It helps the algorithm. Drop a comment where you're watching from. If you like what we're talking about, if you agree, disagree, drop a comment. Engaging during this live. If you're catching on the replay, do the same thing. And don't forget, at the end, hit that share button. We want to help as many people as possible. Let me bring on my guest. Let me get things set up here. Let me go over here. What's going on, Kevin? How are you, man?
Hey, Shawn, how's everything?
I'm doing fantastic. I appreciate you being a part of us in this. You're in what location right now? You're in Jersey?
Yeah, I'm in New Jersey.
Because there's people all over the world going to be watching this, and it's something that they're waking up having their coffee. Some of them are having some wine, wherever you are in the world. You know, it's 8:30 by us, but it could be 3 o'clock in the morning in different parts of the world. So before we even get into it, Kevin, can you give us an intro of who you are and what you do?
Right. So my name's Kevin Hurley. I own an insurance agency in New Jersey called Hurley Agency, and started it years ago after I lost my late father and my grandfather, who both were in the insurance industry. So the third generation of my family to be in the insurance industry, and I'm enjoying it.
It's excellent, man. We're going to go down that path. We're going to find out a lot of different things. Thanks for being with us, because not everyone wants to do lives. They're afraid of getting in front of the camera.
Mm.
And I asked you a while ago, and you're like, heck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Why was it something that you would just jump on board with? And a lot of people don't.
Well, I think that it's important to get out in front of people and be your authentic self. It's not really anything scary. It's just you have to break the ice, so to speak, and kind of jump all in and be ready for conversation. The number one thing is being able to talk to people in insurance. So if you don't get out in front of people, you're not going to be able to voice your opinion and help others as well. So.
And that's what we're all about. Everyone that's involved with Web Talk, everyone's that's in our community is all about helping others. Together we rise, we talk about. I want to shout out a couple people watching us right now. We have Jan, we're from New Zealand. We have Deanna, she's from Puerto Rico. We have from Australia, Scott Gerard with the Legends Projects. We have Teacher Tim, he's in Thailand. Everyone's jumping in. Don't forget, guys, drop a comment where you're from. And also, if you are liking, disliking, want to make a comment, have a question, drop it in the chat box as well. So we also have Great World Network. Not sure, I forget where he's from, but if you're wherever you're from, definitely don't forget, drop that in the comments. So, Kevin, let's go back before even insurance. I know insurance has been in your family, 3 generations, but what were you like back in the day when you're younger? What was your likes? What was your, hobbies, things you were into when you were younger?
I was into a lot of different things. I grew up in a family where we played a good amount of sports. So I used to play hockey growing up. Used to do a bunch of skiing and enjoyed that quite a bit. Actually, when I was in college, I used to drive for a taxi service. So I used to drive a taxi in college in and out of New York City. So it was interesting growing up in Jersey and having the big city right there.
It is interesting. A lot of people don't realize it. People think, oh, it's in New York City. You never go. And if you're close to it, like I'm 20 minutes away, you're close. I don't go there that often. But when you go there, it's an experience like no other. And being a taxi driver, how was that? I mean, driving through that city is intense. with all the
Oh yeah.
traffic and how they are very aggressive. I'm not sure how they are in other countries, but very aggressive. Got to hold on to that steering wheel because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yep. Definitely have to be alert. That's for sure.
It could be scary because sometimes you go in there and you don't know if you're getting out or how long you're going to take to get out. So
Yeah,
that's an
true.
interesting thing to be involved with, and using the communication skills. Definitely, I'm sure with being a taxi driver must have been pretty fun, right?
Yeah, I mean, there were some fun aspects to it. I met a lot of interesting people. Definitely helps you hone in your skills with talking to people and communicating, and so that part I enjoyed.
That's awesome.
So,
What are some habits that you have currently that you might have picked up in? I mean, when I talk to people, I was involved with sports and I had a lot of, motivation. I have inspiration from the coaches I had. What are some habits you picked up from any of the people that you were involved with when you were younger?
I definitely say one of the habits I picked up is making notes. I think that's a big part of following up on things throughout your day, is just keeping track of who you spoke with, and what you spoke about, and it helps you just provide a better level of service, when you're proactive and being that person that follows up with people and gets the job done at the end of the day.
Interesting. So taking notes. Now, are you a paper and pen kind of guy or you use certain types of technology for today?
Well, I do both. It depends on my situation, but I do both.
Because I know a lot of times when as people are taking notes, guys, they're listening. They're actually actively listening. A lot of people go into conversations like we're having right now, and they're thinking about what they're going to say next instead of just being in the moment. So
Hmm.
that's an important thing with relationships in general. Be in the moment, take some notes, go back. If you don't know what they just said, have them review it, go over whatever that is, so we're all on the same page. That's a huge thing, I think. So yeah, taking notes are important. Are you more proactive or reactive with your day?
Well, I think with the insurance business, you need to be both. So, um, obviously, I've got my set schedule that I adhere to, and I try to stick to my schedule. But when people need things right away, you need to break off and be reactive to what you're being asked. And obviously, if they're a current client, you want to make sure you get to them, right away and answer their questions.
Now, you go down that path and you talked about three generations. Were you pushed to get into the insurance world? Did you like it in the beginning? Tell us about that.
Well, it's interesting. My father, at first said, go and do whatever you want. And so, um, my grandfather is the one who really asked me to join the business. Um, so I decided to do that. And I had about what was it like? It was like 6 years or so working with both my grandfather and my father before
Awesome.
they both unfortunately passed away. So, um, but I learned a lot before that. Before getting the insurance license, there was a lot that I learned. So it was good. It was good.
Is it something that do you continue doing continuing education and try to better your knowledge of insurance over the years? Is that a part of your practice?
Oh yeah, you have to hone in your skills and figure out what's the latest and greatest, and a lot of the knowledge that was passed along to me from both my grandfather and my father, I use today. And, there's certain insurance carriers I'll do business with and certain ones that I won't do business with. And it's based upon my knowledge bank that I have, that that I'm glad that I have, because, sometimes people get involved with certain um, groups of people, and those people don't have your best interest or the client's best interest. at heart.
So you had some mentors growing up. You had your dad, your grandfather. What other mentors did you have that were real close to you? It could be people that were alive, or I like to talk about people that are in books. People can learn and have mentors that are in books today. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. Well, one of them was the CEO of a major insurance carrier. So he definitely was a big influence on me. Very smart guy. Definitely had his own challenges going through life and what he dealt with. And so it's, it's interesting learning from different people about, the industry that you're in, and being able to reach out to certain folks and get answers to questions you have. And, that's, I guess, 80% of the business is knowing who to talk to and what you can and cannot say to that person. So,
Yeah, you don't need to know everything. You just need to know how to get to what you need to know. That's
yeah,
the important thing with everything. Now, I like to observe. I love to listen. I take some notes. I observe. You have some great things on your wall behind you. Are those horses?
yes, yeah, they're horse
Tell us
prints.
about them.
They are a collection that my grandfather started and my father started. Um, and we had them all throughout our office and throughout many of our homes. So,
Are they anything unique as far as you know harness racing champions? Are they triple crown winners?
well, we do have one of Seabiscuit in the other room. They're different horse scenes, throughout the United States, and some are from England. So, yeah.
Now, all the questions I'm sure people are thinking about right now. Are you into gambling?
No, I'm not a gambler. No,
Is this
definitely
something you don't do scratch offs, you don't do the lottery, any of that?
no, no,
Hey,
no.
it's we'll talk about. I know some people in the past have gambling problems, addictions, a big issue today. Addictions from gambling to drugs to alcohol, and I like to talk about that. Is there anything that you have seen from those in your family, etc., that had some issues that we could talk about?
Well, my great grandfather used to like to gamble. That's probably why I don't gamble.
So you
So
learn from this. Did he do anything? Did he act
he was
differently?
actually in the horse business. So he owned quite a few horses and took care of people's horses, and um, he definitely liked to gamble, from what I understand.
Yeah, so for some people, I like to make money. Gambling, you're just usually throwing money away. You might win here or there. If you go to a horse betting, you could bet for $2, you can win. So you might lose $2. But there's
Yeah.
people that just don't know how to stop, and that's
Do
where an
you gamble,
addiction.
Shawn?
I do. I have some. I haven't been to the track in a while. I like to go into Meadowlands, the
Okay.
horse racing over there.
Yeah.
It's a fun night. It's a small money. I don't bet big. I have gone to Atlantic City. I've gone to Vegas, but I like to have an experience. So if you're there, I know I'm going to lose money. If I win, that's a great thing. Otherwise,
Right.
it's just you're contributing one way or the other with your time, or you're having some fun with an experience. So there's a chance of winning. I have friends that don't know how to stop, and they ran up credit cards and now have major issues because of it. But that's not something that I wish anyone. There's if you have an addiction, we have to seek help. I've,
Yeah.
I've talked about before. Mental health in the U.S. is something that nobody talks about. Nobody talks about mental health, and that's something that you can't see. Physical disabilities people can have, and you can see. Mental, you don't, and people have to be able to have that conversation, get into counseling, and talk about their issues, their problems, etc. But yeah, it's something that I know on the small end. But my family's growing. I can't waste money like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's the biggest amount of money that one of your friends has lost gambling?
Oh, I mean, I've had a friend win. Now they bet. I don't know the terminology when you bet on like a basketball or football, etc. But there was 5 games that he had to win, and he bet $500. And he these games must have been really high odds for them not to win. That's why he won $50,000, but he blew it within probably 2 weeks. $50,000, and it
Wow.
wasn't going out and buying a house or buying a vehicle. It was just spending it on, I guess, alcohol or drugs or what have you. It's not something that, if you win that kind of money, you got to start investing it. Jesus, but that's where the addiction comes in.
Yep.
That's the problems that people have,
Yep.
and it's something that if anyone that's watching has, an issue with an addiction, we have to have you talk to somebody. It's a very important thing to reach out and have a shoulder to cry on, to talk to, etc. But
I agree. I actually had a counselor call me for insurance about 3 months ago, and he thought he knew everything about insurance, and he didn't have enough insurance. And so I told him all these ways to fix his policies, and showed him different ways that he could save, and then he ended up going someplace else. But he's got a major practice. He's got millions of dollars, charging people $500 to $800 an hour. And quite frankly, I think it's obscene. Some of these people are charging through the nose to people who can't even, are taking out loans to get help. And it's pretty obscene, actually. So on one hand, people are trying to get help, but they can't afford it. So
right.
That's another
Right.
issue that needs to be addressed as well. I think that so many greedy people are out in that field, and they only care about making money. And it's kind of messed up.
Yeah, no, with that, they're preying on someone that's having some troubles, and they're
Yeah.
charging obscene amount of money.
Yep.
Deanna commented that she suffered an addiction before in the past, but was able to break many addictions, which is an awesome thing. I applaud you, Deanna.
Yeah, that's great.
But it's definitely hard, but it's so worth it. It's something that everyone has to make sure they, find what's inside. It's an issue that people have, and sometimes you have to replace whatever that is with something else that is healthy, so that you can continue going down and becoming successful, happy, finding that happiness in your life. So it's important to talk it out. But yeah, hopefully you don't have to speak to somebody charging you an obscene amount of money just to get over the issue that you might have. Hey, I don't charge any money. I like talking to people, so we could definitely help.
Yeah, definitely. Give us a call.
Something that we could always talk about.
Yeah.
If what were some other things what is your daily life as far as your scheduling? I love hearing about what people do as far as, are you a morning or are you a night person?
Well, in this business, you got to be a little bit of both. So, I actually was injured in 2019, and I don't want to talk about the injury or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
but dealing with some significant issues with resulting to pain from it. And it was actually caused by a physician. So it's something that I'm dealing with, and it's probably going to last for the rest of my life, unfortunately. And it's pretty much, I try not to say that it's ruined my life, but it's taken a big chunk of enjoyment out of life. And so I'm kind of dealing with that. So one thing I would mention to people that are watching is there's places called float tank centers where you can go and float in a self deprivation tank that's got Epsom salt water in it, and you can do it for either 60 or 90 minutes, and it definitely helps that you can basically de-stress and kind of unwind in these float tank centers. So pretty much they're all over the place. But that's been something that's been in my toolbox of stuff that I use to help myself. So
Anything else you would love to share? And that's something I use for stress relief. I work out. I mean, you have pain. That's why you're having some difficulty
yeah.
for doing that. But that's where my stress relief is, as far as if I've had, troubling time, or things that are happening. I get a workout in, and it helps me with my stress levels. What are anything else you would love to share on that front?
Well, it's like one thing I do is I have like a group of people that I chat with on a regular basis. So I just I have a group of friends that I try to make sure that I check in with them, once a week, and just kind of catch up, see how they're doing. They're different ones in business. The other ones, in the insurance business. And then the other one is in the cannabis business. So on the other side of the country. And so I like to get both their inputs on what they're doing to scale their business and deal with different issues they're dealing with. And so it's interesting. Yeah.
So for those that are watching, what insurances are you focused in right now as far as selling?
Yeah, well, we offer a wide variety of stuff. We do commercial insurance for pretty much any type of business. We do errors and emissions policies, which are considered E&O policies, D&O policy for directors and officers liability insurance. And then we also do, high net worth home and auto insurance. So we can pretty much do just about anything, depending upon what the needs are. I just actually was working on a church, which I think I'll probably be closing on. So that'll be nice. Find them some better coverage, and then they also have me to rely on when they have a claim. So, I like to make sure that when people are dealing with claims, that they have somebody that they can reach out to that can get them the resources that they need right away. So
that's important for anyone that's out there for the insurance front. If you are working with a major company that's on the internet, you call for a claim, you probably be on the hold for a while. You might have no callbacks, but working with someone that's has their own brokerage, they're gonna reach out and reach back to you and help you through the process. So it's definitely something to have in your back pocket, is working with someone that's a local insurance agent like Kevin, and he will definitely be that person to go to. And he answers his phone, he replies to his emails. This is important to have, and you're not just a number. A lot of people become a number when they're working with the big companies direct. So it's something that, keep that in mind, everyone.
Yeah.
And those that are still, with us, if you have questions on the insurance front, we talked about some of the horses, we talked about addictions, drop some comments, any questions you might have. Kevin, are you into cooking, or do you go out to eat a lot?
I make my own food. Yeah. Once in a while, I'll go make something.
What's a specialty that you make?
I pick I'd say burgers are pretty big staple. During the pandemic, I was making lots of different things. I was making lamb quite a bit. So the price of meat has gone through the roof.
Oh.
So it's like, so I'm not cooking lamb right now, but yeah. So, but yeah, there's all sorts of, especially like right now, trying to be healthy, you can cook asparagus, cook broccoli. And what I do is I'll put, 4 different types of vegetables in the oven and bake it for like half an hour. And if you put like garlic in there and a little olive oil, it's pretty tasty. So
that's a little hack right there for get those vegetables in. I had some sweet potatoes today. We actually stabbed the heck out of it with a fork,
Yeah.
Had to throw 2 of them into the microwave, and within 5 to 8 minutes, you have your sweet potatoes cooked, and
Right.
throw some butter on them, and
Yep.
it was very tasty and it was good. We have some people have, I guess, some issues hearing us, but I'm hearing you and you're hearing me, so I think might be on their front on their devices. But we have some other people that, let's see, they have I'm an optimist, but had better get more insurance. All right, yep, a lot of people need to get that insurance. We have I have life insurance from Jan. She has house and contents one day versus paying rent. Yep, there's a difference, guys. If you have a renter insurance, then your home insurance. One daughter is a working single parent paying $720 per week. That's expensive if that's insurance. We have baked vegetables are great. Yep, that's Charlene. We have another one from Deanna. Awesome. No, it's something that I think being healthy is just like you're becoming wealthy because you're putting your body first. You're not putting, toxins in there. If you're really focused on improving and having a long life, you got to eat right. You got to eat
Yep.
right. But you don't have to go on a diet. A lot of people go on diets. Like, oh, I have to get healthy. Don't go on a diet. Change your lifestyle. Start eating, I always say, moderately. Do you like dessert, Kevin?
A little bit too much, I think.
I mean, have the dessert, but a lot of times people just move, just a little bit, move more, drink more water. There's little simple things that people can do that you can lose some weight. People drink soda. If you take soda out of your diet, you can lose 19 pounds in 1 year. Just taking soda out of your diet. And that's what people live off of sometimes. So
Right.
it's something it's interesting how people spend money on the fast food, which is not healthy for you.
And it's expensive.
And it could be expensive. But then you go to the fast food, the garbage stuff, like, the ones that have the arches and stuff, that's really cheap and it's horrible for you. And the ones that are poor are always going to that type of establishment, and they're gaining massive weight. They're having lots of health issues because of the food that they're taking. So I definitely think people that are watching have
Well,
to
I will say
take
this:
note.
there's
Hmm.
not enough healthy food options for people that are in lower income areas. Um, that's one thing I noticed when I was driving for the taxi service is that you can't find a grocery store that's got fresh food, in urban areas. And it's kind of crazy. These people have to travel out of their town and sometimes several towns over to find a place that sells, vegetables and fresh fruit and stuff like that. So, um, whereas they could just walk down to the corner and go to, any type of fast food restaurant, which are plentiful in those areas. So, and then sometimes people don't have the transportation to go to
Right.
those places either. So, it's kind of, I think we need more healthier options in those areas for those folks.
I
And
definitely agree with that. The
yeah,
urban area, the low income areas, the selections that they get are not as adequate, and it's something that there needs to be a movement to help them, because I definitely agree with you, Kevin.
yeah,
And
it's kind of
mhm.
sad that we're seeing that even in 2022, we're still seeing the same stuff that's been going on for the last 30 years.
We have Teacher Tim. Fresh fruit is on every corner in Thailand. 14 years that he's been living there. It's definitely depends on where you are in the world, how they take care of others. I want to end on a topic that why we're here. We're on a live. We're using technology. How important is social media to you and also your business, Kevin?
Well, I think that social media is a backup to your website, so if people want to see more about you, they can follow up on different platforms and, you can put them on your website and, that kind of thing. So people can look into who you are and, the kind of stuff you do and, I guess the kind of person you are and who you want to be dealing with when you're buying insurance. Some people could care less. Some people just want to get help right away, and they're calling around till they find someone that answers the phone. So,
Right. They're all about the cheap type of insurance, and the
yep,
cheap insurance is not. There is actually the most expensive insurance because you're getting what you're not supposed to have is low limits, low liabilities, etc.
yep, yep. Yeah, it's basically a rule of thumb with my agency that if you're not buying 500,000 combined single limit for your auto policy, then we're probably not a good agency for you, because we're not going to sell anything below 300,000. So, and I run into that very infrequently, so it's not really a big issue, but it is something you want to make sure that you, when you're buying, especially auto insurance, that you're not buying low limits of liability. So
Good tip right there. Good tip. And social media is so powerful today for anyone that's in business because you can create your own personal brand. And those that are watching, don't forget, they see this link that's coming around on the bottom. Make sure you connect with Kevin. We want to blow him up right now. I want to make sure his connections are going to continue growing on this platform that we are networking consistently on every single day. But social media with your brand, you can build it so that you generate free leads because people know, like, and trust you because you're putting out consistent content every single day. And that's what's worked for me and my brand, because I've started doing video in 2018. Never thought it would work as much as it does. And it's so powerful, but people are afraid to do what we're doing right now. All the difference that we're doing right now, and then if we were in person, people are hearing our conversation. That's what really you're doing. You're having conversations one-on-one or one-on 57 people that are in here. It's all the difference in how you're putting yourself out there. And people say, I don't have the time. You have the time. If I can have the time when I just had my last kid. I tell you, last kid, I finally got a boy. I have three girls, and I had the boy that was born on Saturday.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Yeah.
Congrats, buddy.
Thanks, man. And he's asleep. My two daughters are asleep upstairs. My older daughter she lives with her mother. I make sure and I put time in. And the time everyone has the same 24 hours. It's how you use it. Are you using it? Are you wasting it? Or are you actually implementing? And getting involved with Learning with Legends, guys. If you don't know what Learning with Legends is, you have to get in there and make sure we have a course in there about affiliate marketing. It's something it's a training. It's powerful. It'll help people develop basically a funnel. Like you talked about a website. A website's a billboard for a lot of people. But if you have a funnel where you have steps in that funnel that you see information, you get information. You want more information, you have to get your email. You send the email. Now you get more information. Now you have a drip campaign. That's how you generate lots of leads without you doing it's on an autopilot. It's a powerful thing. Or you do what I did, spend time and do value-added videos.
Yeah.
Are you doing a lot of video right now?
You know what? I haven't really done a lot of that. I've been hoping to find people that are interested in doing that side of the business. I'm actually looking for other people like retired veterans. I'm looking for people that are social media experts that want to get into the insurance field, or maybe just want to get a job working with a company where they just mainly focus on their core skills. So yeah, if you know of any retired military that are looking for a good place to work, I'm definitely looking.
So. And anyone that's in here that has and looking for a job, you could do insurance anywhere in the world. You'd have to focus in your states. Your focus right now is in New Jersey, New York.
Well, New Jersey and Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
And there's some people there in Florida here that maybe they have somebody that they know looking for a job. You can work out of your house. You don't have to go to an office.
Yeah.
The power of insurance, you have renewals. So you do some work in the beginning and you make happy clients. They stay with you and you continue have recurring income from business that you've done in your past. Guys, that's the powerful thing with that.
Yeah.
So it's so important to have something, and you love your business. Otherwise you wouldn't be in it that long, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You were stuck. Your father and your grandfather started something, but you lucky continue the tradition, and you are where you are today because of the past that you've had, and you keep plugging no matter if you have. I know you have some pain going on. You're getting up every single day and you keep moving forward. You're always having that. You're not going backwards. So you're doing awesome right there, man. I want to applaud you. So
Yeah,
keep
thank
that
you.
up.
Thank you.
And is there any final thoughts you can give everyone today? Anything about business, life, food, marketing, social media, video, anything?
Um, I would say that, we're in a time, especially in the United States right now, where, so many people are quick to cancel people for certain things. And, I think that, you know, kindness is key. So if you're not putting out good vibes into the world, you're not going to get good vibes back to yourself. Um, you know, there's different hate language being used by certain people about certain ethnic groups, and I think that there's just that's going backward. That's not going forward. That's not doing anyone any favors. It's not doing that person a favor.
Yeah.
And I think that everyone should be uh, kind to each other, and you know move forward in a positive way rather than um, with this negativity that so many people push out into the world. So um, and you talked about earlier how people are dealing with addiction issues, and we talked about a little bit of psychiatry. And I think that when you make yourself available to people, um, and you actually are sincere with your thoughts, good things come your way. And you just have to be proactive in being positive.
Well said, man. Well said. I appreciate you joining us today, Kevin. Guys that are watching, I appreciate every single one of you being here with us. If you're catching the replay, definitely, there's golden nuggets here for you. I hope you take the information and you implement. Don't just let it go in one ear and out the other. We've talked
Yeah.
about a variety of great tips, golden nuggets that every one of you can utilize. And again, being kind and staying positive. I want to end on that. Kevin, thanks so much for being with us. And to the next one, guys, we hope you all have an awesome rest of your day.
Take care, Shawn. Thank you.